First opened in 2002, there's a look inside Ford Field here in downtown Detroit, the Motor City. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Chicago Bears and the Detroit Lions. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. The first carry now. This is Johnson. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. So a loss of 5, and it'll be second down. We were just talking about him pregame. 3 tackles for a loss last week. You thought he looked so explosive on film. Starting off good there. Another one in the first quarter.
He's every bit of what you described. And I don't want to make it too simplistic, but right now for him, it's see ball, get ball. And that's what he's doing really, really well, and he's doing it in the offense's backfield.
To throw on second down is Stafford. And nearly an interception here on their opening drive. But instead, third down. He was all over that route defensively. Now, they had 2 picks last week as a unit. Couldn't quite grab that one.
Patience, Grasshopper. Patience. It's early in this game, but you like the fact that they're around the football early. They're going to be upset they didn't haul that one in, but at least they're there at the moment of truth to make a play on it.
By the way, where did the Grasshopper thing come from? I know it's been around for a long time.
Yeah, you know, I'll have to tell you that some other time.
All right, back to football. On fourth down, here's Sam Martin on to kick it away. Trubisky brings the Bears up 1st and 10 at their own 27. First carry now for Jordan Howard. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd and 11. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Go!
Trubisky now off the bootleg. He'll buy some time right. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they're able to get this one across the... .35.
Let's go.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Go.
On first down, they run with Howard. Finding some room at midfield. And brought down across the 50 to the 49-yard line. 12 more yards there and another first down. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
They didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen...
It's caught inside the 25. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. A very solid gain of 27. Trubisky with a give to Howard. Open space inside the 10. And finally wrestled down at the 8-yard line. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
Now a play fake here on first down. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. That'll bring up 2nd and goal after the gain of 5.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Trying to punch it in with Howard. And he'll actually lose a little bit of yardage here. Back to the 2. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
Now, this feels like old-school football because this has turned into a good old-fashioned goal line stand. So on offense, what do you do now? Do you decide to run it or throw it if you go for it on 4th down?
So it's an old-school extra point that counts 3 times. It's certainly a disappointment they weren't able to get it in the end zone.
Yeah, I can just imagine post-game, head coach looking at the box score, 19-yard field goal, grimacing a little bit, but having to realize that at that moment, getting 3 points was vital. Go ahead and get the points, put them on the board.
And Detroit getting set to go now. And the magnitude of this game, everybody knows it. The fans, obviously the players and coaches, there's just with them a palpable buzz right now. They know they control their own destiny.
Win and you're in. And I think every player wants that. I think every coach wants that. I haven't been in an organization yet that wants to be in a game where they have to rely on other teams to get them to their goals. In this situation, it's very cut and dry. Win, and you're in the playoffs. That's their mission. That's their challenge. And you know they've chosen to accept it.
And what they told us is this has been the most focused week of practice we've had all year. You wouldn't expect any different.
Yeah, and you know, at the beginning of the season, you have multiple goals. They just have one now. Win the game.
Out to the flat for Riddick. They showed off a nice juke of the defender before the next wave could bring him down. Call it a pickup of 7, and they're going to have a 3rd down.
Hey, Red!
To throw is Stafford. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions to start this thing. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the Bears take over. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Super tough.
He's going to loft one deep left side here. And a hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. They pitch out to Howard. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. He loses 4, and it brings up 4th.
Not the result they were looking for there on 3rd down. They end up taking a loss on the play. The only person happy now, the punter, gets to go out there and show Mom that he gets to play in the game.
Escapes the defender. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And the Lions will take over. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
A good pickup there, a 22.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Stafford on first down. This is Riddick on the screen. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. They hold him to only 2 there on the screen. It's second down.
So many things have to come together just right for a screen pass to break for big yardage. The blocking, the timing of the pass to the runner, everything has to fit together just right. But on that play, the defense was able to disrupt things and hold it to a short game.
It's brought in left side by Tate. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs.
Here we go.
On first and 10, Stafford. He'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he'll go down at the 28. A good convergence there defensively, only a yard, and it's second down.
In order for a screen pass to break big, a lot of things have to come together and be well executed, but all it takes is one small thing to go wrong and keep it from being a big game.
Here with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, as the Lions are in possession of the football here to begin quarter number 2. They've got a 2nd and 9 to start things out. Throwing again is Stafford. Looking for Jones, and it's intercepted. Picked by Nick Kwiatkowski. And he'll bring this one back to the 29.
Well, if you go by the numbers, you'll find as the temperature goes down, so does the passing efficiency. And now that we're in December, even the routine throws are going to be harder for the quarterbacks. And this one, it winds up getting picked off.
They go with Howard to begin the drive. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Wide open receiver complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A very solid gain of 27.
Let's go.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now Trubisky to throw on 2nd. And he's going to be swallowed up. Sacked back at the 45-yard line. And keep your eye on that man. 4 sacks last week, 1 there here in the second quarter. He can be so disruptive.
So what was he doing in the first quarter? What was going on?
Took a nap.
I think he tried to lull him to sleep a little bit. Like, yeah, okay, maybe you got me this week. No longer. And you know, with the 4 sacks last week, it's obvious he gets his in flurries.
This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And that'll bring up 4th down. Here comes the Bears punter now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. He'll return it from the 6. He spins free. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Lions offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, That does him no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
And I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
21.
To throw again. Stafford. And he comes back with one complete. And he's able to get up here to the 26. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And he's got the first down yardage before being taken down at midfield. A really nice gain of 25 yards. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working his way into the secondary. Figures out defenses and finds weak spots in order to get open.
And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. Stafford looks to throw again. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess.
10.
Throwing on 3rd down. Stafford. He hits Riddick underneath. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
11, 21.
To the air again, Stafford looking deep downfield. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Kyle Fuller.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
They'll begin the drive with Howard. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. We'll come back to Ford Field after this. On 1st and 10, it's Trubisky. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
This is Howard on 2nd down. And he'll work this one up to about the 38. 2nd down, a little more productive than first. 7 yards on the gain. It gets him to 3rd and 3 now.
You see it?
A give to Howard. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down. And now the Lions going to stop us momentarily as they call a timeout. As they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. So quick on the spin.
He's spinning, man.
A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. So here come the Lions now. And 2 interceptions thrown here in this first half. You hear it, no matter the sport, they say the great athletes, they can kind of have a short-term memory, but that's easier said than done.
It is easier said than done, but I played with a guy who threw 2 interceptions in the first quarter of a really big game we were playing.
Johnny Unitas?
And no, not quite of that level and not of that age. But I was
going for the age.
I remember looking over at him, and he was smiling. And I thought, what is he smiling about? It's because he had enough confidence in himself that that was a fluke. And he went out and played pretty well the rest of the day.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. Back to the air. Stafford on 2nd down. Throw left side, taken in by Galladay. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks. Now a 1st down throw. Stafford. Got his man complete over the middle. That's James. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A good pick up there, a 22.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball in the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. On 1st down, Stafford here. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense, as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6.
10, 10. 32.
Again, it's Stafford. Over the middle, complete. That's James. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense, as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play.
We got three, fellas. Jumbo, set. 44, jumbo. Big 20, 21. 0. Hey, go here. Ready. 21.
From the red zone now, Stafford. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
This defense not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Stafford. Flushed out right. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a 1st down. Stafford barking out signals and trying to get his guys set quickly. From the gun, here's Stafford. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. He'll get only 2 there, and it's 2nd and goal. No move for the field goal unit. They're going to go here with 5 seconds left.
Like 7. Zebra. Hey, go here. Go here.
The final shot before the break. Stafford. He was looking for his big tight end there, Jesse James. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit from the right hash, and this one just a chippy. And Bailey able to knock it through. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, so all square here in this 3rd quarter as the kick's away. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. So here's the Bears offense now as they get set to start this third quarter. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up. Now we're going to get a stoppage. Appears to be an injured Bear on the field. And in Week 17, let's hope this won't affect him for the playoffs. We'll step aside.
18. Red.
On second down, Trubisky. And he fires one that's intercepted. He's picked off at his own 47. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Double right. 22.
After the interception, here's Stafford. Eluding the pressure right. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's second down. You got a young quarterback. Maybe that's just an example of a growing pain for him.
I think you're right about that, because when the game starts to move fast and it moves quickly on him, a lot of times they fall back on what they know best, their arm. He's slinging it on this one. Had a wide-open target, but didn't have the proper footwork to increase his accuracy. And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority, because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Hit as he throws there, incomplete. Now on third down, that pass knocked down in the backfield and incomplete. And Bailey able to knock it through. And they will take the lead here in this battle of field goals at 6-3. Well, they don't get a touchdown here on the opening drive of the third quarter, but I think maybe you still say mission accomplished as they come away with the lead.
No, absolutely. You keep the pressure on, right? You go downfield, get some points up on the board, and hope that you motivated your defense to take the field and hold that lead.
And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious, because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. And they finally get him, but not before he reaches the 33-yard line. It's a big-time play there for the Bears. 46 yards. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
That defensive front four has been very good. They have just not let the running game get going, have they?
Not at all. In fact, the entire offense just looking a little bit out of sync in this one.
Yeah, sometimes this is why coaches like forward-down defensive linemen, they feel like they can cover more ground when defending the run.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. The Bears on third down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. They run play action for Howard. Now Trubisky. And that is incomplete.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss it? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points go by the wayside on that one.
These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration, now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Stafford caught on the right side by Jones. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. To throw on 2nd down is Stafford. Got his man complete over the middle. It's James. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. To give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains.
Let's go. Zero. Wait, 7.
On 1st down, it's Stafford. The left side completion to Jones. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Able to get 7 on that 1st down pass play. 2nd and 3.
0.
Out of the gun, Stafford. Over the middle, he gets it to Patterson. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Stafford now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Now it's Stafford. Buying time to his left. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there. It's 2nd down.
Yeah, he only gets a few yards on 1st and 10, but he's better off doing that than throwing an incompletion or even worse, an interception.
On 2nd down, here's Stafford. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Leonard Floyd. Through an opening, and there he goes. 20, 10, and they will score a pick 6 for a Bears touchdown. Short throw pick 6 right there. Those linebackers, they love when those short throws come and those eyes get real wide, don't they?
How about the anticipation on the play? Reading, reacting, and then the ability to catch the football and take it in the opposite direction.
Parkey with the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. And Detroit getting set to go now. And last time, decent field position through the pick 6. Obviously costly.
But they can't afford to just bunker in now. All right, good field position means go ahead and attack on offense. Try and press the advantage a little bit. They just have to be better with the football on this possession.
So that didn't bother you too much last time?
No, because it's exactly what you're supposed to do. You can't have good field position, not try to take advantage of it. Sometimes the defense makes a good play, too. I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result. Negative yardage.
10, 22.
Here's Stafford now on 2nd down. Out to the flat for Reddick. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
8 yards there on a 1st down.
And there was absolutely zero pressure on the quarterback on that play. 3rd down, and he has all the time in the world to eventually find an open receiver for a 1st down pickup.
The whistles and a flag down. Looked like one of the Lions linemen might have moved. He went backwards 5 yards there on third down to bring up fourth.
42.
A shotgun snap for Stafford. That is incomplete. He was trying to find Marvin Jones that time, and that'll bring up second down.
So this is what happens when you throw interceptions. That confident veneer that you have gets chipped away a little bit. Maybe a little bit gun-shy throwing it around.
Yeah, underthrowing him there, and you're right. Those interceptions may be in the back of his mind. So they'll come up after the incompletion for second down.
Hey, go here. Hey, hot.
Throwing again is Stafford. And the pressure gets to him and brings him down. Stafford is sacked.
Well, this is what happens when you get behind the chains, as people like to say. When you have obvious passing situations, hard to vary it up and fool a defense.
And you hate those situations if you're an O-lineman, right?
Oh, without a doubt, because you just know they're coming, and you never know exactly how. They can be exotic in their blitzes, or their athletic ability just takes over.
He's going to let this one go deep. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Adrian Amos with a pick, and his guys will take over at the 25-yard line. Well, Charles, he's thrown 5 picks in a game before, and right now, after that one, he's standing on number 4.
And right now, your defensive coordinator is asking the offensive coordinator, can you do anything to slow this down? Because my guys have to keep running back out on the field. So play calling may come into it a little bit, maybe run the ball a little bit more. But a lot of it depends on the scoreboard. They may have to keep throwing it.
They run. This is Lewis. And they've got it well across midfield, down to the 40 before it's all said and done. A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards.
Sometimes those lines that are drawn on a grease board or in a playbook, they come to life out on the field, don't they? And we just saw down that outside handoff to the right.
That right tackle, he gets excited for that call, doesn't he?
He does, because he just wants to dominate.
And he caught it up. And this is scooped up by the Lions. And it's a big turnover there on the final play of the quarter. Back now at Ford Field. It's the Lions trailing, but with possession of the football as we get set to bring you the 4th quarter. Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at their 35-yard line. And an alley to run. And avoids the contact by sliding. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. 1st down. Well, there you go. Save your best scramble of the day for a big-time situation in the 4th quarter, picking up the 1st.
You don't want to use it up early, right? You want to make sure.
Man, it's caught at the 6-yard line. It's a big play. Stafford to Tate, 45 yards. Well, it's one thing to grab it with one hand, but when you make a catch of that distance, quite another.
Yes, sir. I mean, that one right there. We keep talking about the high-flying antics that we're seeing from receivers nowadays. Doesn't matter what spot they start in. But when it actually does happen in the heat of battle, brings me right out of my seat.
He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. They get it to him running left. And a little bit of space there takes it inside the 5 to the 3. Give him right around 4 on the carry. We'll see if they want to keep pounding here on 3rd and goal.
We're rolling.
Throwing is Stafford. And that is caught. Touchdown, Detroit. As his guys are in for 6. And the Lions are an extra point away from tying this thing up. And all about timing there on that short slant, Charles.
Exactly right. That was timed up so well. The route, the throw, touchdown.
Bailey now to kick this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. And in Week 17, let's hope this won't affect him for the playoffs. will step aside.
Hey, 18. Red, up.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards.
Red, up.
They go play action. Trubisky. Throw left side complete. It's Gordon. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A good pickup there, 26 yards. Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. And they'll go with the ground attack here. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
I think you'd have to say defensively, these guys are doing their job pretty well, right?
Yeah, we talked about them holding them under 20 points, right, on defense. And they've done that. They've held them. The problem is their own offense hasn't answered their challenge, which was to score more.
Yeah, exactly. I remember you saying magic number was right around 20, and the offense has been the issue. You're right. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bringing up a key 3rd down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity, because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key 3rd down. Highlight that word. Put it in bold. Here we go. Here's Trubisky to throw. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available.
Here's the Lion offense now as they get ready to take over. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. Stafford on 1st down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
On 2nd and 10, Stafford. This is Riddick on the screen. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. Give him 9 yards on the 2nd down screen play.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the 1st. At 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
Drill right, 22. 21.
On 1st and 10, Stafford. Over the middle, complete to Tate. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains. 1st down now, but that clock rolling. He'll look to throw. James has got it. Complete. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
Well, they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
They'll look to throw. Over the middle, complete. That's James. Yeah, they just keep marching right along. First down on a pickup of 8 there. They're making steady progress, but I see your face. You're worried about that clock.
I'm worried about the clock, and at some point, you have to have a splash play in there as well.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this one down to the 36. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. Clock's under a minute. Still plenty of time, partner. They have all 3 timeouts.
That means they have plenty of options in their play calling and where they target on the field. They can throw it downfield, maybe even in the middle, and use their timeouts.
They go back to Reddick. And a short gain down to about the 33. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting third and about 4 to go.
I know they got a little yardage there, but I'm not sure their investment is right. They're still running the football, and I'm not sure there's enough time to continue to do that.
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense, as he'll stop it with 11 seconds remaining in the ball game. The Lions on third down. 5 out of 9 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. He's back to throw. And that is incomplete. 7 seconds remaining. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
1 score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. And here come the whistles and a timeout with 7 seconds left. So it all comes down to the foot of Dan Bailey. They'll spot it at the 40. It's a 50-yard kick for the win. And this one is right down the middle. And it's celebration time on that sideline as they have taken the lead in the final seconds. He hasn't missed a kick all year. Why would he start now?
That's a great question, isn't it? Well, maybe because that was the most nerve-wracking kick he had to attempt all year, but he knocked it through just like it was an easy chip shot.
Well, this one, partner, was fun down to the very end. They got the points late, right before the whistle. Then the ensuing kickoff. They were hoping for magic on the other side, but couldn't get that spark.
Fun if you won, and fun for us because we got to watch it and call it. That magic that you were talking about didn't occur at the end, but what a game all the way through.
So for the Lions, it's an 11th win of the year as they'll finish the regular